Welcome to the Boozy Blondes podcast.
She's Molly.
And she's Chrissy.
We're best friends on a quest to bring you all things boozy.
Let's get lit. Pop,
Fizz,
clink,
let's drink. Welcome back, Lushes. Today's episode is all about St. Augustine.
Hometown pride.
Yes, we were just dying to do this episode. We go all over and check out all these other bars and breweries, so we thought it was about time to do our own town. So we actually scheduled this like we were on vacation. We had to make sure we had a full day. The four of us, the wolf pack, went out on bikes. So it was me, Molly, and our husbands, Phil and Rainer. Drink.
Oh, a double drink.
Again, yes. If you don't know the drinking rules by now, make sure you check out our website and you can drink along with us. So what are we drinking today, Mal?
Well, our drink of the episode, or dough, today is the Dream Pop from Bog. So it's a farmhouse lager. It's been aged 8 months in oak and then finished on organic pink rose petals. So the botanicals lend a delicate perfume-like flavor that leads into mild notes of hay barn. Rainer would love this. In rural America.
Hay
Such
barn.
A great description.
I like it.
Hay barn.
So how did you land on this one? Because I know we always want to make sure we're drinking something that has to do with where we were, like what the episode's about. So I'm really glad you chose Bog, since that was, I think, one of my favorite breweries on the tour.
Oh my gosh, I love Bog. So Bog is probably the closest brewery to my house too.
Yeah.
So it's super convenient to go to. It's on West King Street. And they opened in March of 2016. And what's really cool is this is a historical building. It was a former pharmacy and like soda pop shop. And then it was a pawn shop. And now it's the Bog Brewing Company. And the owners, they stripped the walls when they built this brewery to expose the original brick. And they built the bars and tables where you go enjoy your libations. They have a bunch of board games in there, and you know we're active drinkers. And also, Tacos My Blessing is the food truck that's permanently stationed on site, or at least has been.
Good. I love that place.
Yeah, Chris, what's your favorite item from there? Because you've had it a couple times.
Yeah.
I think I only had it once.
The torta, it's, I don't know if it's Mexican or Cuban or like where the recipe comes from, but I've never seen it on any other taco place menu. But they use Cuban bread, and it's basically like everything you'd find on a taco burrito, but on a sandwich. And it's so freaking good. It's huge. I made the mistake of ordering one for myself and tacos the first time I went there. And I was like, okay, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not eating all that.
Yeah, that's a lot. Because when you and I went with the boys, we split one of those taco sandwiches. But yeah, super delicious. And of course, the drunk munchies are real. So
yes.
You have a couple drinks and you got a taco truck right there. What more could you ask for? Something that's really cool about Bog is one of their original beers was a smoked daddle ale, and they still serve that to this day. The daddle peppers, in case you don't know, are native to St. Augustine, and this beer does have a little bite in the back.
Man, I'm just impressed right now with all the knowledge you're dropping, because I always say this, Molly is the prepared one, and I tried to be really prepared. Like, I even have notes. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see I have notes. I did my homework for once. But I'm just like, wait, how do you know all this? It's amazing.
Oh, I took a deep dive.
But we really structured this, like, pub crawl. There's a lot of thought that went into it because, like Molly was saying, you have to plan ahead, and food is a big part of a full drinking day. So that's why we wanted to start at Boggs. We knew they had the food truck.
Get a good base going.
Yeah, you got to layer it in there, right? And then we ended at Old Coast because they also do tacos right next door.
So you ate a taco sandwich. I split it with you.
Yeah.
But we literally made a taco sandwich out of our brewery trip.
Our whole trip was a taco sandwich. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and also weird. We do love tacos.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great day of beer and tacos and biking.
Yeah. So, Chris, do you remember what we drank there? I know. I think we didn't get to draft.
Yeah, so I do remember what we drank. I actually wrote down everything about it for once. But they were out of flight containers, I want to say.
Flight paddles?
Yeah. Which theirs are really cool. It's like the inside of a wine barrel, like a rib of a old wine barrel, which I think is so cool. But they were really busy because we went on a Saturday, so We didn't get to do a flight, so we sort of made our own. We did the blueberry lemon sour, the mixed Culture Saison, and the automatic midnight. So we still kind of drafted. We all tasted them, and then we did rocks, paper, scissors to see who got to choose what. So I remember the blueberry lemon sour was my favorite. It has 5.5 alcohol per volume. It's a fruited sour. Their description says very berry forward with acid from the Meyer lemon coming through at the finish, deep purple color. By the way, I have to say Bog's descriptions, I really appreciate. The writer in me was like loving this. It kind of feels like, you know, when Marshall from How I Met Your Mother starts describing food, like classic music should be playing in the background when you're listening to these descriptions.
Yeah, I was going to say it. It's super poetic.
Yeah. And that's the least descriptive one. Wait till you hear the rest.
Oh, well, I do have to say, if I ever worked for a brewery, I would want to be the namer and you would be the descriptor.
Oh, I want to be the namer.
But you're a writer.
All right.
I'll feed you the name and then you describe that name.
Because I love puns. I mean, that would be the best job coming up with all these names. Okay, so the next one on our self-made flight trip here was the mixed Culture Saison. It was a little bit stronger, 6.7 ABV, and this one was a farmhouse ale. It says, traditionally inspired Saison opens with some esters and bubblegum on the nose, then a dry and mild white pepper flavor braced by crunchy carbonation. Mixed culture fermentation in stainless tanks.
Wait,
I mean, how good is that?
Crunchy what?
Crunchy carbonation.
Huh. Okay.
And I did not taste bubblegum because I would have loved it.
Same. When you said bubblegum, I don't remember that because I remember you won the draft. So you got the lemon sour, blueberry lemon sour, and then I took the Saison, I believe. Or we split that one. I don't remember.
And I didn't love it. Like, not to say that it's not good. I'm just still very new to learning to appreciate beer. Sours have been the gateway beer for me. So this one just tastes more like a beer. So,
you've come a long way.
Yes. And then our third and final, which was so good, is the automatic midnight. And this one will knock you on your ass. It's 10.6 ABV. So Imperial Stout rested on peanuts, cocoa nibs, and vanilla beans. Huge aroma of freshly roasted peanuts gives way to mountains of rich dark chocolate and peanut flavors of alcoholic spice mingles with the vanilla and nibs. Careful, things will get dark quick.
And this is what we started with.
I know. But honestly, that was my favorite description of like, it's going to be the best of the whole podcast. I just remember it being really, really smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot. I mean, I like stouts as a general rule, but that one was delicious, and I didn't realize it was so strong.
Yeah, and I appreciated that it wasn't a coffee stout because I feel like 90% of the stouts that I try are coffee, which is great because I love coffee, but this one was just totally different. I read somebody's description on Untapped, and they said it was like having a Reese's peanut butter cup with vanilla ice cream. Oh, I was like, that's pretty perfect.
Yum.
Spot on.
Okay, well, that's a question for you then. If you're drinking a stout that's, infused with these different flavors, would you prefer chocolate or vanilla?
Oh my God, that's a really hard one. Probably chocolate, because when you look at it, you expect chocolate.
Mm-hmm. True.
But that one was great. And I went to Bog again last night. We had friends in town. Shout out to Rob and Vicky. We took them to Bog. We wanted to get tacos, but the poor taco truck was closed because the owner broke his foot. So that was a bummer.
You are familiar with that.
Yes, I know all about Das Boot. So my heart went out to him. But so we ordered pizza from Carmelo's, and
not a bad backup.
Yeah, I mean, Phil was happy. He loves his Carmelo's.
Drink.
So Rob's favorite was the automatic midnight. So I got to try it again last night.
Ooh, cool.
To make sure I remembered what it tasted like. And then this is my surprise for you, Mal. We have to go back and try this Berliner Weiss. So it's only 4.2. So it's like you could drink this beer all day long. And I think if it hadn't have been so late, I would have just kept drinking it.
Really? But tell me about it.
Okay, traditional German sour wheat beer, mildly acidic and weedy. It pairs with either one of their house-made raspberry syrup or the German traditional Woodruff syrup.
What is Woodruff syrup?
That is exactly the question I asked the bartender. It was nice because we went on a Tuesday, so they were dead. So like we actually got to talk to the girl behind the bar, and she said that they make it from scratch, which I started to do like a deep dive yesterday to find out like what is this Woodruff syrup. And it's very rare to even find it at a bar, especially somebody that's making it from scratch. So I'm going to drop some knowledge on you here. It says Gallium odoratum is also called sweet woodruff, and it's a flowering perennial plant widely cultivated for its flowers and sweet-smelling foliage. It has a sweet hay-like earthy aroma. Got that hay-like again. And taste. And its bitter helps cut the acidity associated with the Berliners. So I guess it's the traditional way that the Germans used to drink it because they'd put just one drop in and it would cut down the acidity. But what I found out was that once all these American craft brewers started making it, they were doing fruited Berliners. Mm-hmm. So the syrups just got left behind. So it's really hard to find a place that's offering traditional Woodruff and sometimes raspberry too. That's kind of like their second favorite way to serve it. So the brewers that go through the trouble of making the syrups themselves are very rare. So if you find one that does, you definitely don't want to pass up the opportunity to try it.
Oh, well, go Bog. That's awesome.
And it's green. They add the green color to it, and it makes it look like Ecto Cooler when you put it in the beer.
That's why you told me that's what you drank. Okay.
Yeah. It was so good, though. I had 2 of them. And so they didn't have that one in the bottle, or I was going to buy it. But they do can their beer, so you can get, what are the cans called?
The Crowlers?
Crowlers, yes. I think all the breweries we went to had Crowlers on our list.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
We'll have to fact check that one, but...
Just like I forgot to grab stickers for the however many years I've been going to these breweries, I also always forget to take to-goes.
I feel like since this was our hometown, it was really hard to stay focused, and be the Boozy Blondes. We were just talking and joking around. And by the time we got to Old Coast, I don't even remember what I drank. If there wasn't photos, I just... Usually we're a little more focused and we sit at the bar and we have our notebooks out. But we were just
yeah,
it's a free weekend in town. But okay, so where do we go next, Mal?
Okay, so after leaving Bog, we jumped on our bikes and pedaled over to Dog Rose. Did we ride our bikes that whole way? Yeah, we did. We crossed US 1.
Yeah.
I had to remember. It's a little bit of a hike.
Yeah, Rainer crashed into me, remember?
No. I was probably blazing the trail with Phil. And I guess we got 2 drinks there.
Yep.
Okay, so Dog Rose is in this bright red building. It was a former art gallery in Lincolnville, which is the south end of St. Augustine proper, I guess. And they opened in 2017. Do you know what Dog Rose means? It's a thing.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. So Dog Rose is believed... Well, it's a wild rose that's believed to cure the bite of a rabid dog.
Whoa.
No, not rabid. Rabid. Like rabies. Rabid. Sorry. Anyway, so Dog Rose is really fun because they have a lot of extracurricular activities in there. They have the full-length shuffleboard tables, which we are huge fans of shuffleboard, and darts. They have TVs, so you can watch your favorite football game or baseball game or whatever season it is when you're there. Just like Bog, the owners built the bar that's there, as well as the tables. Oh, I'm sorry. The owners didn't build it. It was actually a local sculptor,
really?
Which is appropriate because it was a former art gallery.
Yeah.
And in 2020, they made the list of top 20 best new breweries in the United States. Not
That's
even Florida,
crazy.
the United States.
Way
by
to go,
USA
St.
Today.
Augustine.
Yeah, by USA Today. So usually they have a food truck outside.
Mm-hmm.
And they do all their brewing right in that building too. Just like Bog. Mm-hmm. We failed to mention that about Bog, but the tanks and everything are right there. So Chris, what did we drink there? Did we get a flight?
Yeah, we actually did get a flight there. So the boys were playing. They were playing darts, or no, they were playing shuffleboard because darts was occupied because otherwise that's their favorite. But so we were trying to get our drinks so that we could go over and challenge them at shuffleboard so that we're ready for Tournament of Champions later this year. But we have to say who we met at the bar. Okay,
Well, it happened at Bog. We forgot to mention.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we'll circle back to that. First, I'm going to tell you what we were drinking in our flight. We were able to get a full flight here, so we tried 4 different beers. We got Rhapsody in Red, which is a classic American amber ale. We got Hell's in a Bucket, which is a Bock beer. We got Bertha Brown Ale, which is American brown ale.
That does not sound like something we would get.
They had a really strange selection there. You know, sometimes you're like, you want to try everything, and there where you just like weren't sure what we wanted.
So we went outside our comfort zone.
Yeah, we tried a little everything. And the last one, which was my favorite there, was Lion's Head Honey Sour, and that's their kettle sour.
Oh, that one was so good because we ended up getting a full pint.
Yeah,
of that
that's
later.
right. That was definitely our favorite. So we did our draft, and I think I ended up with the Rhapsody in Red, and Molly was really nice to me and ended up drinking it and giving me the rest of her sour because I was like, I cannot drink this. And like I said, I'm new, so the red ale is just something I'm not used to yet. But I mean, the description sounds great because it says classic American amber ale brewed with chocolate and caramel malts, balanced by a healthy addition of selenial hops. Wait. Centennial hops.
I was gonna say, I don't know that word.
What is
Selenial.
that?
It's not even a word that we made up. But
that's just,
I don't know.
That's a drunken word. I've been drinking beer today, so. So it's only 5.2. I don't know why I feel like knowing the alcohol percentage is important to me because sometimes I'll just pick something that sounds great and it's 10% and it just hits me.
I know, Chris. No, it is important to you because, like you said, you're kind of a lightweight.
I am
too.
a lightweight for sure. So yeah, that one I like knowing the ABV, and that one's only 5.2, which was good. So I thought I was safe with it, but I ended up trading for the sour, which their Lion's Head Honey Sour is 5.2. Kettle sour with pre and post fermentation additions of local orange blossom honey, and the bees made the honey in the Lion's Head. So do you know the story behind that?
No.
I don't either. And I was like researching everywhere trying to figure it out. My first guess was the Lion's Head at the Bridge of Lions.
That's what I'm thinking.
But they're completely marble statues. So how would that be? This is a trivia question. If you're listening, you need to write a review or in the show comments and tell us where this honey comes from.
You said, how would that be?
How would that be?
Like
oh, that's such a pun. All right, I'm going to drink for that. I'm making puns and don't even know it.
You should, because I'm pretty much done with my stein of beer.
Oh, wow. I'm playing catch up then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let me run through the other two because we'll probably take our beer break because that'll be halfway through the episode once we
and I
this.
need to refill.
Okay. So we did Bertha's Brown Ale, which is 6.3%. American Brown Ale, deep brown color, toasty with chocolate notes and enough hops to clip the finish. And then the other one was Hell's in a Bucket, which is a little bit stronger. That was 7.9%. It's a Bock beer, blonde in color with a rich malty body, subtle sweetness, and soft clipped finish. I did like that one.
I was just thinking, I remember that one, and it was delicious.
Yes. But Molly was a trooper because she drank all of my swill of all the
Ew.
that I couldn't finish. I am like seriously so prissy when it comes to drinking warm beer. I will just stop. I'm like, no, I can't drink this.
Speaking of swill, we were taking our morning vitamins the other day when we were out of town. So Rainer handed me, his vitamin cup because it's liquid vitamins. And he said, here, it's your turn to take them. But his swill was in there. There's nothing worse than beer swill, than liquid vitamin swill. I said, you're going to go wash that out. I
was going to ask if you drank it because Phil drinks my vitamin swill.
Oh.
Because I hate it. So I just I shoot it and I don't ever do shots. So I'm doing vitamin shots, which is the worst. And then it's like kind of thick. So there's always a lot left in there. And I definitely just kind of wuss out halfway through the tilt. I'm like, oh, that's good enough. Pass it to Phil.
No. Oh, vitamin swill worse than beer swill.
Yeah. I mean, we got to be healthy before we're drinking. So,
well, that's true.
We're balancing things
I don't need
out
to
here.
drink swill, though.
Okay, so let's talk about who we met really quick before we take a break. And where did we meet her?
Okay, so it was at Bog. Rainer actually met this couple sitting at the bar. They were from Nassau County up by Fernandina Beach on State Road 200 area. They're opening a brewery, and The brewery is called the Disco Witch Brewery. They plan to do a soft opening in April of this year, or I'm sorry, of 2022.
Yeah.
And
we really hope we can go to it. I mean, I've been talking to her since we met her on Instagram, so I'm really looking forward to. I was like, we will be your podcasters for your grand opening. But they were such a sweet husband and wife couple. They came down just to check out some other breweries.
Mm-hmm.
And we just hit it off with them, which I have to say, I'm handing it to Rainer and Phil for really doing our PR. Like, they were out being the Boozy Blondes while we were just being boozy.
I know, we need to get them shirts. But yeah, Jeff and Shelly. So they'll be opening Disco Witch.
Yeah.
Brewing in Yulee, Florida. If you're familiar with that area in State Road 200, that's the main road that you take over the bridge to get to Fernandina Beach. And right before the bridge on the north side of the street is where they're going to be opening their location. And they're really excited to not have karaoke, but lip syncing competitions, which I'm all about because karaoke can be hard to handle. But I feel like people would get super animated doing their lip syncing.
Yes, because I think that would be approved for me. I just got told last weekend that I should never do karaoke again. So.
Oh my gosh, at
that was Phil.
British pub?
Yes.
Oh, drink.
Sorry. Yeah, I had a good time. Apparently others did not, listening to me sing. So I am going to stick with the karaoke that you lip sync to.
Yeah, so we'll keep you all posted on that brewery, and hopefully we'll get up there, say hi to Jeff and Shelly if you do go, and tell them the Boozy Blondes sent you.
Definitely. That sound means it's time for a refill and a word from one of our partners.
We're so excited to share one of our partners. We're working with Wink. It's their mission to remove the old school obstacles that come between you and a great bottle of wine. The intimidating language, the overwhelming selection, and the steep price points.
By making it easier for everyone, everywhere to discover delicious, reasonably priced wines, Wink hopes to bring a little more joy to the act of pouring a glass with the people you love.
Our affiliate link is in the show notes of this podcast. When you purchase through our link, you help us keep the boozy content coming your way. And with our code, you get $20 off your first order. Okay, I'm refilled.
All right, we're ready to go to finish the rest of this St. Augustine pub crawl.
So after we left Dog Rose, we headed over to Ancient City Brewing on
Cathedral.
So Ancient City has two locations. Their brew house is west of 95 in St. Augustine by the St. Augustine outlets. And they opened a tap room right downtown St. Augustine on Cathedral Place. So originally, I think it was the very first brewery in St. Augustine. It was called Mile Marker. And when that closed, Ancient City swooped in to fill that craft beer void because Mile Marker was our only option. So they took over the brewery on Agricultural Center Drive, which I said is just west of 95 in St. Augustine. And that was in May of 2015 when they opened. That location is pretty cool. They have a lot of activities. They have cornhole boards. They have a whole room where you can hold events. They have poker tournaments.
It's finally growing on me because for a while it's more like a traditional brewery in a big warehouse with all the tanks and brewing equipment. And then the actual inside is pretty small, the tap room. But I don't know, I just wasn't getting it, I guess. And I wasn't such a beer drinker. But now I actually really enjoy going there. And they always have a different food truck. And like you said, a lot of activities.
Yeah. And the tap house downtown.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. And well, it's my favorite because it's right next to the grilled cheese gallery, which has awesome grilled cheese. And they'll bring it right over to you as you're enjoying your beers at Ancient City.
When Molly and I figured that out, I was like, new favorite brewery.
I mean, we do like tacos, but grilled cheese is definitely a close second.
And side note, they have vegan grilled cheese, which is so hard to find. So that just sold me right there.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever mentioned it before, and if we have, forgive us, but Chrissy is lactose intolerant. So it's always a challenge to find fun, cheesy dairy foods. Like, forget the lactose infused, or I don't know how to say
in
infused,
the beers.
like IPAs or those milkshake IPAs, which are so good.
All the ones I want to try.
So we rolled up to Ancient City on our bikes.
Yes.
And by this point, after I consumed all of Chrissy's swill
Yes.
and we ordered the full-size sour.
And didn't we win
Shuffleboard?
Yeah.
Of course we won Shuffleboard.
We're going to say we won Shuffleboard
Yeah.
because they're not here to say we didn't.
That's correct. We totally
I feel like
smoked
we
them.
did. I have a great photo of you coaching me on Shuffleboard.
I haven't
And
seen it.
It really just looks like she's yelling at me, like telling me I'm doing it wrong, and I'm totally arguing like that I don't understand. It's seriously one of my favorite photos because it's us. Like, this is just how
You know it's out of
ridiculous we are.
love.
Yeah. You're like, that's not right.
Oh, all right. So we didn't do a flight at Ancient City. We
We had to keep moving.
We ordered individual beers. And do you remember what we got, Chris?
Yeah. So I got our list here. We each tried, we kind of narrowed it down to like 2 that we wanted to try. So we each got a pint and shared. So Molly got Ponce's Pale Ale. It's a 5.5%. It's a hop forward pale ale, exclusively brewed with Equinox hops.
That's so weird. That does not sound like me at all.
I know, but like they had a lot of dark beers.
Mm-hmm.
I like, just so you know, when you go there, there's not 40 different beers on tap. They're very small local brewers, so they do a lot of small batch craft beers. And the beers they have are great, but there's not a lot of variety. They didn't have any sours for us, so we just kind of were like, let's try something different that we haven't tried today. So she got the Ponce's Pale Ale. I ended up getting Augustine's Orange Amber Ale, which is 5.3, and I really liked it. I mean, for an amber ale, you could really taste the orange flavor. It says it's made with organic Florida oranges from Watt's Juicery in Jack's Beach, so I love that they're using all local. And it says on the description the orange flavor really comes through nicely, and I can definitely agree with that.
Oh, me too, because I totally took a sip of yours when I ordered it. It was really good. Because I feel like every time I go there, I get their coconut porter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably, now thinking back to a little bit drunk Molly, I was smart enough to try something different for a change.
Yeah. And so this is our third stop. All the breweries we've been to thus far have wine, and almost before we started Boozy Blondes, I was only drinking wine. So it's just now that I'm really starting to enjoy the variety of all the beers that the brewers offer.
So proud.
So yeah, this was kind of a quick stop for us. We were definitely feeling good. There was a dog there that I just wanted to pet, and everyone's like, no, we got to move on. So we had to hop back on our bikes, and this is like where the day just fell apart for me because let's just say I'm not athletic. And I had to ride my bike over the Bridge of Lions. Molly says, I'm going to ride behind Chrissy. Like 2 seconds into our bike, she's like passing me. And she's like, come on, this is what we trained for. I'm like, who? I have not trained to do this. But so yeah, she blew past me. I was holding up traffic. I did not really care because I was feeling good. But
You can definitely walk your bikes over the Bridge of Lions, but I distinctly remember Chrissy saying earlier in the day, we are riding our bikes over the Bridge of Lions. So, okay.
Well, this is why, because if you're going to walk, you have to use like the pedestrian path on the side.
What's wrong with that?
So narrow. So you have to get off the bike and push it because there's always people.
Okay. I'd rather hold up people than the line of cars that was behind you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you should not have cared because I was the one solely holding up the cars. And so remember, I got beeped at and I got like really mad. I thought it was like somebody.
Oh, yeah.
It was James.
Yeah.
It was just a friendly friend beep. And I was all just feeling like I was getting beeped at for being slow and old. But
by the time you got beeped at, we were off the bridge. So
I was like ready to turn around like, what do you want from me? And it was just James.
Yeah, the boys were first, and I guess I did try to be a good friend and pull up the rear.
For 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, that's embarrassing. I was out of there. Anyway, we rode our bikes over the bridge, and if you haven't done this before, I don't know that I'd recommend it, but, you know, it is the fastest way between Ancient City and Old Coast Ales if you're not driving a car. So
it makes for a good story. I survived.
Fun fact. Old Coast, their logo is, oh my gosh, it's a bicycle, and it came from when the owners used to deliver kegs on bikes to local patrons.
Those owners?
Yeah, it's called the Alcoholer. That's the name of the bike. Like hauler.
Oh my
like
God, I love that
hauling.
so much.
So if you ride your bikes to Old Coast Ales, you get 10% off your beer. Well,
I don't know how, like, I earned that 10%.
You
So did
we all
Rainer.
did.
Me and Rainer were
Drink.
dying. And I'm sorry, I'm definitely throwing him under the bus right now with me, but Molly and Phil went in to get beers, right? Because, yeah, it was me and Rainer sitting outside because he couldn't breathe as usual. And I just, like, my legs felt like they were made of Jell-O shots.
Just because Phil and I weren't breathing hard, doesn't mean we didn't earn our beer.
Okay.
We totally earned our beer, too. We had to ride with you, too.
Yeah, you might have earned extra beer just for that.
Yeah, no, I'm teasing. But either we forgot, I don't know. But
I just never knew
time,
that. But it makes sense. I mean, their logo's a bike. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
So all you Boozy Blondes listeners, now you know. Ride your bikes there. Get 10% off at Old Coast Ales.
Mm-hmm. So Old Coast opened in February 2017. And this was an old mechanic shop that they completely converted. It's, when you look at it from the outside, it's pretty beautiful. It's really a white building. It looks awesome. And they have an event space in there too.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the event space?
So in between where you sit at the bar and Osprey Tacos.
That makes sense because I just assumed that that's like where they were doing the brewing.
They do too.
Okay.
But I think there's extra space back there. I haven't been back there. We'll have to go check it out next time. Ask if we can go see.
Yeah.
And Wednesdays during the summer, they were doing, musicians were coming in on Wednesday nights too. And we love live music. So that's another plus.
I like the recent addition. They've always had a little front porch, but they just recently opened a back porch area, which is just a nice deck. There's tree cover. There's those sun sails. So it's just a really great place, especially now in the weather starting to cool off a little bit for fall. Like, we really enjoyed sitting out there.
I honestly had never been back there until we were all there. Usually if we go there, we get our beer, we sit out front and get our tacos from Osprey Tacos. Which, side note, Osprey Tacos is the craft tacos of tacos. Like, or local breweries are the craft beer of beer.
Unique combinations for tacos I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. They're fantastic. So it's a great partnership there.
It's like one-stop shop. Like you said, awesome partnership. I love seeing local businesses support each other because I really think that they helped each other, you know, through all the hard times that everyone experienced in 2020, when you had to have a food license to stay open, you know, they could work together and kind of help each other out with that.
Yeah. So we were hungry again by this point.
Like, at this point, that was the tacos were the only thing getting me over the bridge. I knew I was going to get food over there.
Bike for tacos. So I believe the boys might have gone in and got beers, and Taylor and Elias met us at this point. And so did your parents. Oh, yeah,
a bunch of people. James.
And James came too.
Bobby.
The beeper.
Did Bobby come?
No.
I don't.
Wait, hold on.
I've been there a lot of times, and they all start to run together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Bobby made this trip.
No, I don't either. But I do remember Elias and I ran out to get the tacos. And you said you didn't remember a whole lot about what we were drinking or anything by this point. Elias is so embarrassing. He completely dropped the entire thing of guacamole right as we were walking back up into the porch to bring everybody their food.
Oh my God.
I only say that because usually we're the ones embarrassed in front of Elias.
So it's really nice that he's the one dropping the ball for the change.
I totally think he blamed me for it.
Yeah. I mean, he should not have, because like you said, we are definitely always the ones causing trouble. But it's great because he brought his son Magnus.
No, I know.
That was
that his first brewery trip?
Not first brewery, because I know they did some out in Seattle area. But
first Florida brewery.
Maybe his first St. Augustine brewery, for sure.
That's awesome.
It must be nice to be a kid nowadays. We grew up at a brewery. We didn't have that option.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Like, your parents maybe brought you to Gin's.
Yeah, like a
made you sit in the car.
Bar,
yeah.
And there was no games to play.
No, definitely not. Although, I mean, he's like not even one. He's not even half a one. So
and
he didn't know any better.
He's already collecting his brewery stickers.
That's right. He enjoyed it.
Okay, so let's talk about what we drank there because I sent Phil in, I did not get what I wanted. Every time I go there, I get the Christina, which you guys know is the half kombucha, half beer. And I always just choose whatever is their lightest, like pale ale on draft. Phil decided to, get a little frisky and get me an IPA.
What?
Yeah. And I knew as soon as it came out, it was not what I wanted because it was definitely hazy. I was like, that does not look like what I normally drink here. So he did half static haze, which is a 6.5% New England IPA, brewed with lactose. I didn't know that till just researching it for the show. I'm like, thanks, Phil. I did not need that at the last brewery. So I just want to say, I think a lot of the breweries do not put what's in their beers. Like, you don't get the full description. You get the name, the alcohol percentage, maybe a little bit of the style. If they have things that some people are allergic to, they really should like put an asterisk or something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, especially when it comes to lactose, I think. Like, remember at Lemon Street, we got the surprise pepper.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to, you're out drinking, so you're already gambling a little. But like the peanut stout that we tried, like peanut allergies or something like that.
Maybe you just need to ask your bartenders before. And at this point, Phil wasn't thinking, although now that I think about it, maybe he was trying to booby trap you. Because hindsight, to him, we asked to go to the winery after the brewery, which we did not need to do. So maybe he was trying to put you down for the count.
I forgot about that. Like, this is how much I did not need to go get more to drink because I forgot that we tried to do that.
But we came back to your house and continued to drink.
Oh, yeah. Like, that was safer.
Well, I drank a lot here, I believe.
I know. Honestly, if we'd gone to the winery, we would have had just like one beer. But we came here, and that was their compromise. Like, because Molly and I were about ready to start chanting winery in the backseat. And so they're like, no, how about we go home for a drink? And then we had like multiple drinks.
Oh, okay. This brings up another good point. The breweries from Bog to Old Coast is quite the haul. Now, we stopped at 2 other breweries in between. So, smart, sober us decided to leave Rayner's truck at the last brewery, Old Coast, and then we brought all the bikes and Phil's Jeep to Bog. Therefore, when we left Old Coast, we had to walk a block to the truck.
So that's like an insider tip.
Back.
That's such a good way to do it.
Leave a vehicle at your final destination or call an Uber.
Yeah, because had we started like actual biking to Bog, then to Old Coast, which it's doable, but then we would have had a bike home. That would have been a train wreck.
You would have had to go over the bridge again.
I would have definitely just ditched my bike and been like, I'm done.
So the St. Augustine Brewery Tour, our 5 local breweries are all fantastic. If you are familiar with the holiday season in St. Augustine, we have the Nights of Lights, which brings millions and millions and millions of people, but you should come and see it.
As many people as the lights, just millions.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, it's a great thing. It's great for our city and the local businesses and the breweries because they jumped on this Nights of Lights thing and got together and formed the Nights of Pints.
I love Nights of Pints. I just love local businesses working together, and it's so smart that they did this.
Mm-hmm. What great marketing too. So it's about, last year and the year before, I don't remember prior to that, it's $30 and you get a t-shirt. You can buy this at any one of the 4 breweries. You get your t-shirt that says Nights of Pints, and then you get a card that gets you 1 free beer at each of the breweries during the Nights of Lights.
Full beer. You get a full pint. It's not just like a tasting or anything. Mm-hmm. Plus the t-shirts have always been really awesome. Like, this is what we get for Phil and Rayner every year.
I remember sitting somewhere, I think it was in St. Augustine, just randomly over the summer. Rayner and I might have been having a picnic of some sort on the bayfront, and this guy walked by with a Nights of Light shirt, and I said, "Hey, I have the same shirt." He didn't care, but I thought it was cool. We see them out
We see it everywhere. We were actually at a brewery in West Palm, and this guy was wearing his Nights of Pints shirt.
Oh, no kidding.
I was like, what are the chances? But yeah, it's crazy. It's really great. I love that it's something you can kind of look forward to each year. And it's for the locals as much as the tourists.
100%. Because we we can ride our bikes down there.
Yeah, because I mean, we absolutely love St. Augustine. Like, there's not a bad thing we can say about it, but it's definitely a tourist town. So sometimes being here as a local, it's nice when businesses kind of do something that you know that they had locals in mind when they came up with Nights of Pints.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. So wait, we didn't say what you had at Old Coast.
Oh gosh, sorry. We totally rabbit trailed or I don't know, squirreled. Thanks, wrong animal.
So Molly had the no apostrophe, which was 7.2. So she was just like still going hard.
Dang.
That's a really strong beer. It's
an
American amber ale, big and bold with deep, rich, medium bodied finish. Big and bold. Just you went big and bold that day.
I totally did. Big and bold with all the swill. Big and bold with my beer choices.
Yeah, because not only did she drink all that she drank, anything I didn't finish. This is how you and Phil are the same because you still will not leave like wounded soldiers.
Ugh,
no
never.
beer left behind.
That's correct.
Phil told me when he turned 30 he was going to stop doing that. He's going to be 40 this year.
Like 10 years ago.
I know, and he's still.
No, we owe a lot of drinks, by the way. We've let out the P word and the R word quite a few times, so hopefully you are playing along. Yeah. No, I think I saw Phil's first wounded soldier in May when we were at Epcot.
Oh.
And
Epcot is like you're in a foreign country. That does not count.
It was just really weird, especially because Epcot beers are so much more expensive.
Exactly. Well, now that I drink a lot of sours, he's leaving a lot more behind because he's like, I do not want warm sour swill like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I apologize if you just heard me drinking my beer because I started to laugh.
All right. I mean, that concludes our pub crawl. We did a pub pedal, which is my favorite way to see bars on bikes. And you could, if you're pretty ambitious, walk this whole thing because, I mean, St. Augustine's very small. It's probably a total of 3 to 4 miles, like from brewery to brewery. But drive or Uber to be safe, to like really enjoy yourself.
Or bike. And get your 10% off at Old Coast Ales.
Yeah. So what else do we have to talk about for the St. Augustine episode, Mal?
We have to do our Fast Five.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we'll be coming back at you with our Fast Five. It's time for our Fast Five.
Chris, Fast Five. What brewery has your favorite logo?
Oh, man. Since it's fast and I just got to think off the top of my head, I'm going to go with Old Coast Ale because I do love that bicycle logo.
Okay. Which of the 4 has the best beer selection?
I think Bog. I've been pleasantly surprised by everything I've tried there. They have a lot of really different things.
Okay, cool. Who has the best food option attached to it?
I think I'm going to say Bog again because I just think you can't beat that Taco My Blessing food truck.
Taco sandwich. Okay. If you have visitors in town, which brewery are you going to take them to first?
Probably Dog Rose. It's a beautiful venue. It is right downtown. You can't really beat the location because we usually end up going downtown with guests to take them around for dinner or just show them the sights. And it's right behind the Lightner and across from Flagler College, which are just so beautiful. So it's just very centrally located. So I'm going to go with Dog Rose.
Okay. And which of the 4 had the beer that surprised you the most that you maybe wasn't a go-to beer that you really enjoyed?
It's going to be Bog again. I think Bog is the winner for me. I loved that Berliner Weiss that I tried with the syrup, the Woodruff syrup. Oh my God, that was so good.
That was impressive. Like Bog almost had a clean sweep there for you. Cool.
Okay, it's your turn, Mal.
I'm ready.
Which was your favorite brewery?
Well, I'm going to have to go with Dog Rose because I love a good competition and kicking the boys' butts at shuffleboard. Yeah, and coaching you, apparently.
That's an easy winner. You're an active drinker.
I am. Maybe that's why I can drink so much.
Yeah, it's fun when
burn it off.
You have something to like be focused on. Okay, so which was your funniest moment of our pub pedal?
Definitely. Oh no, 2 things. Well, my first thought was when Elias just dropped that guacamole everywhere. So un-Elias-like.
That was classic.
That's my final answer.
Okay. Which was your favorite beer of the day?
My favorite beer. You know what? I didn't get to keep it. I really liked that blueberry lemon sour at at Bog. I'm so sorry, at Bog. But the beer we had today from Bog, I've really, really, really enjoyed that Dream Pop.
That was good.
Only available in bottles. It's not on tap, but I would go back and buy more of that.
Okay. Which brewery would you recommend to Taurus? We had the same question. Well, I said Taurus. You said Friends.
Oh.
So where would you tell a tourist to go?
Where do I not want to go?
No.
I'm just kidding. So, I would probably send them to Old Coast because then they get Osprey tacos as well. And they're over the Bridge of Lions, so they get out of downtown for a little bit. Normally I would stay somewhere downtown, but I know, and this wasn't your question, but when we have guests in town, Old Coast is kind of a go-to for us just because the patios are great. Well, now the other patio too that I just got to experience. It's just a comfortable place, just kind of a little bit away from the hustle and bustle. It's more relaxing. My cousin came into town a couple months ago, Kristen, and we went there. That's where I learned how to draft flights.
Oh yeah, that is something we're gonna take with us forever. Thank you, Kristen. That they do have a great location because it's like not all the way downtown, but not all the way beachside, so kind of right in between.
Yeah,
great recommendation for tourists.
Well, thank you.
Okay, final question: which place would you say is the most pet friendly?
Oh, so all of them are dog friendly.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot to mention that before, but if you see my notes, Chris, I put little paws by all the dog friendly.
Vinny would love that. See, I was questioning whether Dog Rose was or not. Because
too.
I've seen dogs inside all the other breweries, and I love that you can bring a dog inside, not just outside, but like in the air conditioning.
Yeah, Vinny appreciates that. But I wasn't sure about Dog Rose either, even though they have dog in their name.
I've never seen a dog in there.
But I'm pretty sure if you look at, I don't have a dog, so the Fido, where can I bring Fido?
Bring Fido.
Yeah, I'm almost positive they're listed. So if I'm steering you wrong, I'm sorry. And I'm going to defer this question to you because you have a pet. So where would Vinny like to go?
So we've brought him to Old Coast and Bog. I think that's the only two we've brought him to. He would actually like Ancient City too. He loves anywhere you can bring him inside, and he's like basically the only dog there. He doesn't like when there's a lot of like chaos and kids running around, so maybe Dog Rose wouldn't be a good place for him because people are always playing games like darts and shuffleboard's kind of loud.
And there's always lots of kids in Dog Rose. But I think Ancient City too, even if you got a seat by the window, then he could look out and see what's going on outside.
I would say Bog, in my opinion, is the most pet friendly because they have that huge outdoor area they just built, so it's really spacious to sit out there. And we've brought him inside in the winter, and they have like this one table by the picture window, and it has like comfy chairs and a little wine barrel table. That is our spot. Like me and Vinny will just post up there, and we send Phil for beers and tacos. Just perfect. Okay, so that's it. We concluded our Fast Five. I think it's safe to say we had a great time in our hometown.
I think it's safe to say that there's going to be another St. Augustine episode in a year. We're going to revisit this because a lot of the breweries, if not all of them, produce the seasonal beers. Mm-hmm. So when we went, it was just beginning to be fall. So
everyone is doing their Oktoberfest beers.
Yeah, so maybe we should go back in the spring and see if we can get some new flavors.
If not sooner, we should probably do a Nights of Pints.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. All right, well, thank you, St. Augustine. Thank you, Boozy Blonde listeners. We'll be back next week.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at boozy.blondes.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more boozy fun.
Well, and make sure to follow us on social media so you can get the drink of the day on Wasted Wednesdays. On Facebook, we're /Boozy Blondes. On the gram, we are at boozy.blondes. And on YouTube, we're /Boozy Blondes. Visit our website for recipes and references from each episode at www.boozyblondes.com. We'd love to hear from you, so send us an email sharing your boozy stories and requests and pictures at boozyblondespodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast so you never miss a chance to drink with us. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and more. And don't forget to leave a review. The boozier, the better. If we love your toast to our show, we'll read it on air. Stay boozy.
Cheers.